Hello. Hello, hello. Can everyone hear me now? Was I muted the whole time? Is today just going to be that day where everything is just wild and no one knows what's going on? I don't know what happened with OBS. It like changed a lot of my settings. Like this mic is supposed to be set to my mic here that's on an arm, and the audio out is supposed to be my headphones, but for some reason it was turned to other things. The OBS isn't like me today. On top of the fact that it broke my screen last time we streamed. So no one heard anything I said then. Awesome. Well, then let's start over again. Hi, welcome to the Making Things in RPG Maker MZ stream. I'm Nick. Since we had such a weird beginning, I'm just going to get right down into it instead of covering a lot of other stuff. So, the idea today is we're going to be looking at cutscenes. Specifically, timing things to music. We had a cutscene contest recently, and it was about music, and no one really did this, so I wanted to talk about it. I really meant to do this during this cutscene contest, but things got in the way. That's why we're not... it's not as timely as it could have been. But, so, when you want to do things to music, you need to know several things. You need to know the speed of the music, where the timing is in the music. For instance, I'm going to do this cutscene to... let's hold on. Let me pull up the sound test. I'm going to use the remix of our absolutely wonderful... Where is it? Theme 6, right? Which, if you don't know what it sounds like... Ooh, it's very loud. How is that as far as you hearing me talking over it? Is that balanced badly or good? I can't tell because it is blasting in my ears, like RPG Maker music normally does. Maybe we need to be lower than that. So anyway, the music, we need to figure out a lot of stuff. So first of all, let's... The first thing, music is a little louder than me. Yeah, I know. RPG Maker just really loves having extraordinarily loud music. It's one of the things I noticed. I generally don't play at full volume in RPG Maker, and I really shouldn't. Let me turn it down and then turn it back up. Okay, that's actually coming through a little bit less painfully. Okay. So, the first thing you need to know about any song when you're doing this is what is the beats per minute. So, every song, if you know anything about music, which you should, it's a useful skill to have. At least the basics, the very basics of music is very useful for game development. So I'm just using this site that I found called TapTempo.io. What it does is when I can tap my mouse to a beat, and it will tell me what the BPM is. So let's play the song again. And then I can... I'm da 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 da. That's the beat of the song, right? I noticed when I did this early, testing it, that the beat is somewhere around 158. I tapped too fast there. It's like 158 to 160. It may be 160. Because generally, composers pick a pretty rounded out beats per minute. So my guess is it's probably 160 or not 158. So I'm going to go off the assumption that is 160. So the next thing to do, you know that it is now 160 beats per minute. So if you take 60 seconds, which is a minute, and divide it by how many beats there are, it's 0.375 seconds every beat. Then, we know that in RPG Maker, MZ, every second is 60 frames. So let's multiply that by 60. And we're roughly looking at 22.5 beats per frame, or frames per beat. You don't have to be frame perfect, but... So let's look at my... I'm going to do this on a sheet here. Beat per minute, or beat... I'm going to say frames per beat. Well, let's do beat per minute first. So BPM is 160. Frames per beat is... I just had it up. 22.5. These are really useful to know. But here's the other thing. You still need to know, let's move out of the way, how long it takes for things to happen in the engine, right? Like if you want to time people moving and people talking to it, you need to know how long each of those things takes to happen. So I made a, let's go to the database. I made a comment event. This comment event is really simple. All it is whenever this switch is on, which I'm going to unname, that's named from an old tutorial that one of the earlier ones I did. So it just, whenever this switch is on, it just, this command will happen every frame. So every frame it will count up 1. Now, anything I want to do, I zero out the variable, then I have a text message that just spits out the number of the variable. All right. Now, in the movement event, what I'm doing is setting what speed I want to, which is normal, which is 4, which is the default speed anyway. Then I'm going to turn the switch on. Then I'm going to include whatever I want to measure how long it takes between the on and off. So let's say I want to know how many frames does it take to move one space. So one of the things I like to do here is instead of using 1, I'm going to take multiple moves. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This way we'll get more accurate, because if you have more that you're counting, like if you, for instance, if you count it just once, it's going to be reliable, I guess, but I don't know. I just like figuring out based on a larger sample of moving. So now I can play test really quick. New game. I can interact, and he will move 3 spots one direction, 3 spots back. Or did I make a mistake here? Did I? I had moved down instead of move left. That's what I need to do. Move left. Oh, and by the way, I know I am zooming today. What is up with me? I need to slow down a little bit. This comment event is a parallel because we want it to run the same time as other events. That was another thing I forgot to mention, and I should have. Also, I should name this event. Measure frames. All right, now it's going to be move rights, move lefts, and then it's going to turn the switch. Okay, so he moves right 3 times, moves left 3 times. 97. Here's another thing you should know. Each, like, turning on the switch, it makes it take 1 frame. So we'll go with 96 divided by 6. And then each actual individual action is measured on a frame. So what it looks like is like 15 to 16 frames per moving one space. But let's go to our database again. Or not that one. I need to go to my actual thing. So what if we did speed 5 instead? Let's do 2 times normal. And then we can measure that again. And it should be about half, right? Okay, so it's 49. And this is the same thing I was saying before, where you subtract 1 because the turning it on, starting it all takes 1 frame, and you divide by 6 movements, it's 8. So it is 16 frames to move 1 space at normal speed. When doubled, it takes 8 frames to move 1 space. That's a useful piece of information. The next thing we need to know, let's do another thing. We could, I think we actually need to, we're going to need to get rid of this entirely. So let's delete this out, and I need to use regular control switches. Let's turn switch on. So we need to time things like speaking, right? I'm using the remix, not the original. I think the remix is a little bit faster. All right, show text. So when we're timing, obviously, we don't want to use do not wait for input after displaying text, because, or we don't want to use do not wait for input after displaying text, and we want to use the various wait 1 second, wait 1/4 second, etc. Because we want to make sure that this is not or it doesn't require the player to input, because if it requires the players to input, all the music timing is immediately off. So in a cutscene where you want to time to music, you have to have it react entirely without player input. So my storyline for here, I'm gonna go ahead and just put the actual line I want to use. And we're gonna have Reed challenge the Dark Lord to a dance battle. So now we're gonna need some of the different. So let's have it wait 1/4 second here. Let's wait 1 more 1/4 second here. And then we're going to use the command to do not wait. It was a caret? Yes, it was caret. I like to put the spaces in. No, not do that. So now I can time exactly how long this is going to take. And a lot of this is about timing how long each individual spot takes, and then we can time it to the music itself. All right, so that took exactly 100. I think we need a little bit more break at the end of it, because it didn't quite give enough time to read, I don't think. To read. So let's do... We don't want to go to a full second, I don't think. That's too long. So I'm going to put a second. Let's give him a 1/2 second at the end. Hit play. Oh, I already had a playtest open. I need to close that. I know there's a way to like reload it, and I never can remember how to do it. All right, so we're now at 117. And it was just what I was talking about, how it was straight 100 before. So you would think adding 1 extra 1/4 second would be 15 more, but it wasn't. It's 117, but that's still very easy for you to measure with. So now, let's go back to our song. I want like him to say that with that opening measure of the music. So sound test. Which I'm MV, this theme 6, the remix, and I'm sure the original as well, is 99%. I am sure is in 4/4, which means they're the number of beats in a measure is 4, and the beats are on quarter notes. It's the most kind of standard. Is it F5 to reload? Thank you. I always forget what it is. and then I just don't use it because I've forgotten. 4/4 is kind of the most standard way of music to be written. There's a lot of other things, but generally, unless you have a reason not to, most people use 4/4. Occasionally you'll see 3/4 or 6/8. 6/8's kind of odd, not common, but okay. So that first part is 8 beats total. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want that part to take place over the first 8 beats. So at 22.5 frames per beat, 22.5 times 8 equals 180. So we could actually give a little bit more time. Actually, I wonder if I can, like, so we have, it was 117 for the start, so minus 117. We still have 63 frames left. I think I'm going to have him jump into place when he does this. So let's cut. We're going to put him here. Cut. Or, well, we need him in this, wherever. So he's going to jump. Let's see. New. We're going to have a movement route. And he's going to not move right. I accidentally clicked that. We're going to have him jump. And it's going to be down 2, which is that. And left 2, which is that. So, and that is the player. That's what it should be. All right. And then save the project really fast. F5. Reset it. Oh, I went the wrong way on both of those. That's 136. I am having a day. I don't know why I can't remember which direction to put those. I also need him to face right at the end of that. So let's edit again. And do, let's see, jump. These need to be both the other way around. And then turn right. And we should have this take about, I think, 1 more frame than it said last time, because it takes 1 frame to turn right. 121. That means we still have... Oh, wait. Did I mess that up? Oh, no. Yeah, apparently, I didn't know you could intentionally end a thing early by smashing button. Is there a way to turn off that? There may be. Okay. Okay. Frames are judged by your CPU, not time, but the only way we can time things... Yeah, I could disable input. I need to do that. But the only reason you could... the way you can time things is by frames. So the only thing you can judge it by is it should be 60 frames per second. MZ is not a variable frame rate engine. If it starts lagging, that is a problem, and it will mess up your timing. But there's no other way to do timing in MZ. There's no way to determine, oh, well, this is, you know what I'm saying? Wait, What is the thing for disabling input? Now, right now, I'm not concerned about it. I just need to know not to press the button while I'm going through the things and let it play without it. Sorry, I had to harass my dog to keep him from barking. Okay, so like you said, technically your frame rate is judged by your CPU. Technically, you can overpower the engine, and your frame rate will drop. And it will discombobulate from your music, but it should never go over 60 frames, and that is the only way we have to measure time in the game, is by frames. In fact, I'm pretty sure that even the where's the timer? Pretty sure it runs on frames as well. I think if you hey, my dog is being obnoxious. Go. I'm pretty sure that if you lagged your game by doing a whole bunch of events or something, your timer would slow down too. All right. So this takes 100 and was it 131? I really need to remember when I do things. All right. Let's see how many seconds it takes, or how many frames it takes. 137. So that means that the next thing I need to do is add a wait for the remaining seconds. Yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of things that can mess up your timing if people click off the screen, if people do, but it is what it is. You can make really cool cutscenes that match the music, and the only way to avoid people doing things like flipping off from the screen. I don't know if there's maybe a plugin that pauses music when it's not in focus. There may be. Yeah, I am aware of that. That's why it's a little bit of a problem, but it is what it is. I think there may be. I wonder if there is a plugin for that. All right. So we know that we have read start. He wants to start on measure 1 beat 1, which is at 0, and the number of seconds is 0, and then we want the Dark Lord response to come in on measure 3 beat 1. So yeah, I was thinking someone probably made it, and you probably want to use that in any game where you really did time well to your music, because otherwise you're just losing that feeling you get from timing to music. So 22.5 times 8, which will get us to the third frame, so it's 180 at 160 frames per second. Actually, this can always just be equals d3 divided by 60, or not by 60, 160. All right, so this should be correct. So we need to wait. So it's 137. So 160 minus 37. 137 is 23. So we should add a wait of 23 frames onto the end of it, and then we'll have the response. So let's go. New. Oh, wait. Wait. So it was 137. 160 minus 137 is 23. 23 frames. And then I'm just going to copy this because that way I don't have to remember the. So then we'll get the That wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to edit. Yeah, 60 frames is a second. Wait, I did beats per... you were right. I should have... It was supposed to be 60. I don't know why I put the frames... That's something for when I'm playing Skyrim. I need to close that. I've been playing Skyrim recently. You were correct. I don't know why my brain... Nope, stop that. Why my brain immediately jumped to the beats per minute. Let me just close that. That was what... enchantments I wanted on equipment in my Skyrim playthrough I'm currently playing. Okay. So back to this. Dark Lord, we're going to get our monster. Here's our Dark Lord. So let's give him... All right. I'm going to give him the same amount of, like, breaks. It's going to be shorter anyway because he's saying less words. And then he wants to copy, paste, but edit. He's going to jump, but he's going to jump to the, let's see, edit. So X, he is jumping to the right. So he needs to go 2 to the right. And then he is jumping down just like it, but he needs to go down 3 to be across from him, right? Then he needs to turn left face. And then file save. And let's F5 this. Also, in a second, I need to actually start the music so we can check if it's timing correctly. How is it still 137? Did I... What? Oh. It's still 137 because I had it in the wrong place. Okay, let's actually have it start the music too. Play BGM. We're going to have it play at 50. And let's just fade out over 1 second. The end there. Okay. Oh. Okay, let's see if it times correctly. It did, I think. Let me see. So it should... The problem is I'm timing the beginning of the text as opposed to, like, stuff like the... Maybe I should, like, it'd probably be better to time the jumps. That's it. I now have to change things. I have to time different things, right? Because what I want to do now, and let's do that. So if we cut here, we want to jump at the beginning of the music. So cut. That's what the time we want to measure is the time from the jump to his jump. So let's cut. There. And that should... Anything between these two things is what's going to get measured. So I want it to go... The jump... Music starts when he jumps. And then he respawns. Then he jumps on the ninth beat of the song, which is the beginning of the third frame. Or third. It's not a frame, it's a measure. I don't know why I said frame. Like it was a. Like we were bowling or something. Alright. Okay, so it's only 131, which means the wait needs to be longer. So, 131. So we need 29 more frames of wait. And we currently have 23. 23 plus 29 is bad at math some days. It's 52. Yeah. So let's move this to 52. Apply. I close my playtest again. That saves changes. Now let's see if it matches up. Yeah, I got there, Zamacel. I got to 52 like right before I finished putting it in the calculator. And now I'm sitting here going, I'm wondering if maybe, just maybe, it's a little bit less because the timing feels a little off. Let me drop it to 48. Let's drop 4 frames off and see what that does, because it felt like wasn't quite matching it up, and maybe my timing is not right. Maybe it's supposed to be a little bit different. Huh. All right, let's drop it to 45. Having a wait in the middle of your thing makes timing it easier. And once I've finished figuring out what the wait is here, I can figure out what a full measure should be, and we'll have a better idea. It's still like too soon. I'm gonna cut this out too. All right. How was I this far off on how many frames for the song? I am having trouble. I think I went too far backwards that time. They edit it. Alright, he should jump on the 9th beat. So I'm gonna actually tap my finger this time. Am I just wrong about what beat it's on? I think that's the case. Let me actually listen to the song again. That may be where I'm making the mistake. Oh, I see what it is. I had it right the first time. I know exactly what it is. I was thinking that... Nope, it is 52. And I need to turn that music off because it's going to drive me incredibly insane. Okay. I was judging wrong on what beat I thought he should jump on. And maybe I should move him to jump on the da-da-da. Because there's like that, there's two, like, I think 16th notes right before where he's like da-da-da. And he's jumping on the da note. That sounds like nonsense to me when I actually say it. No, he's jumping a little early. Okay, so he's jumping a little early, which means I need a little bit more weight. Maybe it is 150 beats per minute. Maybe I was just wrong. Okay, let's calculate it based on its 150 beats per minute. So if it's 150 per minute, then we're looking at 60 divided by 150 equals 0.4 times 60 frames. It's 24 frames. So let's say that. Also, oh, that's why it was supposed to be. I thought it was 180, not. I'm 20 frames off. That's the problem. It doesn't feel like it's. Or am I? I am 20 frames off. That's the problem. I kept on going to 160, and I do not know why. I like how my brain doesn't work correctly. It should be 72 here. Let's see if this immediately fixes it. Playtest, playtest. Hey, Negressa. We are trying to time stuff, and I'm bad at math, so that messed up how many frames it's supposed to be. I kept on trying to go to 160, and it should be to 180. So he should jump on the beginning of the third measure this time, guys. That was correct. It was on. I got it right that time. It was correct the whole time, and I just, as in, I was correct about the beats per minute. That was correct. I have, so this is 160, which makes this 122.5. I was going to 160 frames to start when the Dark Lord jumped, rather than that. All right, so we got 40 minutes in. We still got some time to do a few more like dance moves. I wish this is gonna sound weird, but I've always wished that you could get, like, I could sit down and write down the rhythm of all the songs on a piece of sheet music. But I'd love to actually have the sheet music for some of these songs, because it would let me time it even better. And if you are having music custom made from your game, you could absolutely probably ask them, like, hey, can you at least, I mean, I have to get the individual notes, but if you could send me the sheet music of just the rhythm of the song, so I know where each beat of, or each note in the song happens, and then the BPM, you could really time it out well, because I want to try to do some turns right on specific beats. So now it's time to do some more listening to our song. And actually, instead of doing it in playtest, I'm going to, let's see, tool, let's see, game, open folder. I'm going to open it in a audio, just like, I don't remember, I have, what do I have? I know I have, it's the one with the traffic cone. That's the audio player I use. What is the name of it? My brain. VLC. So I'm just gonna open it in VLC and pause. That way I can go back and forth. So where's my controls? I've used VLC for so long that I forget what it's called. Okay, I'm gonna turn it down a little bit too. So okay, so I want to have, I feel like I need to wait on the next thing. What should man, I should have done some of this off stream, because now I'm going to need to actually get the rhythm. So it has a very 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and feel to it. So I think that if I time things on the 8th beats, I should be able to get, because that's where the drums are playing in the very background of it. I can hear the cymbals. So our 8th beats are on every. So an eighth of an beat, or an 8th note is going to be 11.25. You can probably get around get around with like doing 11 on half of, or like 11 on most of them, and then occasionally doing a 12, but also because basically you need to make sure it matches up on a total. Also, it takes like 1 frame to do a specifically like a turn, for instance. It takes 1 frame. So let's have he jumped into place. That I do not know how long it takes. So let's do a let's cut this, and we're going to do time just this part. So anything to do with timing, this is just literally what you're gonna have to do. Just consistently go back, do the same thing over and over again, time it over and over again to figure out. Okay, so it's 25. So it takes a little over a note, so that you shouldn't be able to, you shouldn't really be coming in until the next quarter note, I think. So 25, let's go back to our timings. So that's going to be, he does his jump at 180. So let's see, Dark Lord jump is at 180. Then we're going to need to go, so it takes 25. Yeah, it's true. Anytime you're doing anything, you're going to be playtesting over and over and over again, but this is like one of those things where I think you have to playtest the most amount of times, because you have to constantly be going, how many frames did this take? How many frames did this take? So it takes 25 frames to do the jump. We need to start on 40. So that's going to be 45. So we need a 20 wait. So let's throw in a wait 20. I don't know if you guys have this habit, but I absolutely love doing copy of things if I already have one in here. All right. So the thing to remember is a movement route action takes at least 1 frame before it will do the next thing in the movement route. So for instance, he's turned right. So I'm going to have him turn left. We need to wait 11 frames, but that's going to take 1 frame. So let's do a wait of 10 frames. Then have him turn down, wait 10 frames. Then have him turn up and wait 10 frames. I'm going to put this on loop and see if it matches the 8th beats, right? Then have him turn right and wait 10 frames. And then we're going to repeat movement. And, oh, wait. It doesn't really matter the timing on this, because we're just trying to see if it visually looks right. Sometimes that's all you can do, is look at it and go, does it feel like it's on the beat? Maybe. All right. And 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and it's ridiculous, but 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. It is actually matching up to the beat. Nice. I think you lose like 1/60th of a second every turn. but I don't think that's too bad. My dancing animation leaves a lot to be desired, but it does match up to the let's actually, I think that was too fast. I want to try to see if I can let's 21. Let's match it up to the quarter note. So actually on this, it should be this way we won't lose a frame every, so like it'll take 1 frame to turn left, then 21 frames, 1 frame to turn down, 22 frames. And this should match on the quarter notes. There is a drum in the music, it's just very far in the background. That was why I was counting the 1 and 2 M. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I didn't put the repeat back on. Let me turn the repeat back on so I can see if it's matching. Repeat movement. Okay. Many years ago, when I was a young child, was a drummer in marching band and concert band, and I therefore have good rhythm, can't dance though. Four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. It's right on the beats, right? I think I started him turning too soon, but it is on the beats. So let's increase this weight by 1 more frame, so that would be 42. Yeah, I cannot dance. I am incredibly white when it comes to dancing. But that's okay. All right. So I wanted to have it wait a little bit longer. Okay, so let's add some more to it. So I think that I need to okay. All right. So right now he's coming in. Let's get rid of one of these. So edit, delete, delete. So I need something. So a jump of 1 space. I did this earlier and it was like 8 frames, I think. All right, time to do a little. Let's add a little timer over here so I can do how much a jump takes. So new, let's just give him anything. He can talk to Michelle to get some timing down. All right, so set movement route, player, switch on, switch off, and between that, I want a jump. So jump, just 1 to the right. All right. Oh, I forgot to. Hold on. I need this message here. So now that I'm actually doing it entirely when I'm so far in this, I need another way to test how many frames something takes. So I'm just throwing another little person over here to talk to get some. All right, so it's 15 frames to jump. Okay. That's what I needed to know. So let's take all of this, and we're going to copy everything. You can, you can't, or wait, maybe you can. I just had, yep, you can. All right, let's insert a jump. He's going to go 1 to the right. And then, so it's 15, and I need to get to 21. So that means 21 minus 15, you need a 6 frame wait. And then I'm going to take this and go down, up, right. Paste. Edit this, and he's going to jump back. So that should be like each frame he jumps, like he jumps, turn, 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 jump, turn, turn, turn on each frame. Or I keep saying frame. Why do I keep saying frames? Measure. I was in band for so long. I was also in chorus. I know how to read music, I swear. Okay. So, let's see the timing. Something weird's going on with that. Did I? Let's see. What did I do wrong? I have... Alright, so it should be... One, it should be, wait, 7 frames, I think. Wait, should it? Yeah. Okay, but... Yeah, but it should be jump 1, 2, 3, jump 1, 2, 3. That's... But for some reason it feels like... Because this should be 22 frames. And it should, like, it was 15 frames for the jump. Or actually, I think it's technically 14. That may be the problem. Is it, though? How is it timed so right? And this should take the same time as one of those turns, right? Am I just wrong? Am I just wrong? Yeah, I know that it only has 3 turns because it was supposed to be the jump was replacing one of the turns. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's timed right. It just... Is it 21 frames? Actually, it's timed right because it's supposed to be 14 plus 7, so it is 21. Because I forgot to subtract 1 for having to turn on the thing. The problem is I'm not starting on the right beat, I think. So... What I need to do is... Alright. We need to know the time from when the music starts to when this dance starts. Yeah, it's timed right, but what it is I wanted him to jump on the first beat of each measure. And he's not doing that because he's not coming in on the measure. So... I need to know how long this is. Because this right here... So let's do some switches. Control switch 1 on. Control switch off. And then I need this back. And I need to turn off the repeat movements so that it doesn't repeat forever. Okay. Now that I need to figure out how long that is. And this should measure it. And then I should know how many more I need in that spot to make him start on the next measure. Oh, Okay, so if I want him to start on the next measure, it's 67 currently. The next measure would be at 90. It said 67, so it needs to be 23 longer. And that should be right, because that's one beat. I'm one beat off. So let's just add 23 right here. That is 65. Then let's get rid of this, and edit. Turn repeat movements back on. Okay, now he should jump at the beginning of each measure. It still feels like he jumps a little. That's it. He starts his jump at the beginning of each measure. Something seems wrong, though, because every once in a while it seems like he starts moving a little faster. Maybe do I have the frame jumps wrong somewhere in here? Either way, I think that, like, really... Excel is important for dancing. This is why I can't dance, by the way. I think Excel is important for dancing. But, so anyway, we get the idea of right timing. So we look at how many beats, we figure out how many frames the beats are, then we start measuring how long things take. We put in the weights to get the right amount of time so we can match things to beats. Somebody mentioned that there was a plugin snippet somewhere that pauses music when it's not active, which is useful if you want to do this kind of stuff. Also, you want to disable input during any cutscene that uses this so someone can't, like, push through your text too fast. But overall, like, you get the idea of what we're doing. Next time, I'm going to be working on... You know what? I don't know yet. I got to think on that one. I will be back next week. We should have one next week, and then that last one is the last Thursday of this month. So we'll have next week, then we'll have the week after that off, and then we'll be back on the 2nd. It's been good hanging out with y'all. Thank you, everyone who showed up. Brent and NowSoX, Zamacel, Nikarasu, Nerd Mansion, Orochi, Skepsis, who I know is around a lot, is Israel Rodriguez. Thank you all for showing up and listening to me complain about the fact that I can't get timings right.